Kit Kats can read. Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys my August wrap up. Today is the 1st of September, and guys, I just want to say, if you can hear a noise coming from this direction, it's my washing machine. I'm literally just washing my bedclothes because I change them like every month. I change them at least, once. Like, it all depends like how it's been. Like, I have changed it like twice before, but normally like I change after a month. And I've just put it on a quick heated wash which lasts like half an hour, so I'm just washing that along with my clothes. And yes, so let's begin with the August wrap up. So the first book that I managed to complete in August was Queens of Geek by Jen Wild. I placed a picture over here because I actually already traded this book off with somebody, and it was actually really popular. I put it on Books of Trade on Twitter, and loads of people were like, oh my god, I'll trade for this, and it was so popular. But I managed to trade it off because I like to recycle books in a sense. Like, if I don't love it so much that I read it again, or like, it depends, like, because sometimes I get like ebooks of the books and I'm like, oh, I can just read it again as an ebook, but I don't have like a big necessity for me to actually keep the book, so I'd rather pass it on. So this is one of those pass on books. It has really good sort of diversity wrap, there's anxiety wrap in it. Our main character, she's like Australian, and she has travelled like all the way from Australia because she is in this like big old film that's there, and then she's got a friend that suffers with terrible social anxiety, like really bad. So this is like a Comic-Con sort of experience where they all go there, and then there's this guy who her friend has a crush on, and so they have this thing going on, and then she has a big crush on this female actress. So there is definite bisexual reference as well. Anxiety, bisexual, and then she's Australian as well. So there's just a lot of diversity and its own voices as well. And it was one of the books that was on my books to read for the year, and like diversity books list. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And if you really like your geekiness, if you really like diversity wrap or LGBTQ+ novels, then I definitely recommend this book. And I gave it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats all the way. It was just worth the experience. The second book that I completed in August was All These Beautiful Strangers by Elizabeth Clayforth, and I'll place the picture over here because I've already traded off my ARC for this. And yeah, it was an interesting young adult thriller, and it's kind of like a mystery. So we have the main girl character, and her mum has gone missing, and then while she's at school, she's sort of invited into this secret society that get people to do these really sort of like scary tasks. So at the same time, she's just sort of like trying to find out what's happened to her mum, and then sort of go to school with the secret society. But I did do a non-spoiler book review video full on about this book, so I will link that down below if you want to know like my full on thoughts. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and there were times when I sort of felt myself slip away from the story. I think just because it sort of was having a thriller storyline, and then the other one was just sort of like being at school, and I think I was quite intrigued with the thriller side of it. So that's why I gave it 4.5 out of 5 Kit Kats, but I still really recommend it. It was really interesting, and just the ending, like how it all got solved and found out and that sort of thing, like I thought it was really interesting, so I liked that. So the third book that I read and completed in August was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. This is actually a reread for me because I read this a few years ago, probably near enough when it first came out actually, and I can remember what this book was about, but I watched the movie and I was just like, oh my god, I just don't even remember this happening in the book. Like I couldn't believe it. Like I read this a few years ago, and then I just didn't remember the storyline. It's just crazy. This is just what happens when we read so many books. And yeah, I totally recommend the movie. It's on Netflix, so you don't even have to like go to the cinemas to pay for it. It's like it's already there, so you can like binge watch it several times. I've already watched it a couple of times. It just makes me feel really, really good. And the book also has that effect as well. So when rereading the book, because I'd recently watched the Netflix film, I could see there was a lot of the book that was in the movie. There's like probably 3 things that are different from the movie, like how something happens with the little sister in the beginning, and there's like something like near towards the end as well, like how something happens like in the middle. Yeah, there's actually like 3 things in this book that I found to be different, but it mostly kept the actual story in the book, which is what I really, really liked. So I thought that was like really, really good. But yeah, it's a really cute book, and just how this book ends is near pretty much how like the film ends, like on that little cliffhanger where it's just like dun dun dun, what's gonna happen next. This is now a trilogy. I read this as a duology, and then Jenny Han brought out a 3rd book, Always and Forever Lara Jean, which I still haven't read. So it's good that I've reread this, because then I can reread the 2nd book, and then I can finally read and finish the 3rd one. But I've heard they are all really good, like together. I mean, the duology was really good, but it still felt like there needs to be a 3rd book. So I'm glad she brought out another one. But yeah, I totally recommend it, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. And the last book that I finished in August is a very short book, and I actually listened to it on audiobook, and I'll place a picture over here, but it's Quidditch Through the Ages, obviously by J.K. Rowling, and it's one of those comic relief sort of books, like side books, but it just sort of like tells you about like Quidditch in the past, and like rules of Quidditch, and like the longest match. And what I really loved about this version was that after the actual narration of the book finished, you have this futuristic bit from Ginny Weasley actually like commentating the 2014 Quidditch match of the year. Like she's commentating like and giving feedback on all of the games for like the World Quidditch Cup of 2014, and then she's doing the live final, and Rita Skeeter is there as well. She's doing like a bit of commentating as well, like her sarcastic side, and it just made it so worth it. And like Harry Potter's mentioned, Harry Potter's kids are mentioned, and I'm just like, oh, nostalgic feels, like, oh, it made it so worth it. And I totally recommend for you to get the audiobook from Audible, because that's where I got it from. It was so worth it, and a really enjoyable experience, and I loved it. And although it's very short, it's really, really enjoyable. And Andrew Lincoln is the main narrator of it, and he plays Rick from The Walking Dead, and he's also in, I think, Love Actually, but he's just talking as a British voice, but he's putting on like all accents as well when it comes to like characters. So yeah, it was really, really worth it. And I had to give it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. It was just awesome. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 4 books I managed to read in the month of August. It's not quite meeting my minimum target of at least 5 books, but it's been a really tough month. I have been unwell the past couple of months, and I've been really exhausted, and I've been busy with things like my eye talk and like dealing with my own health. So really, all things considered, I've done a really good job. I could have finished another book. I am like 3/4 of the way through City of Fallen Angels, so I could have finished another book, but I read something in the month of August, so I'm not disappointed. Obviously I would love to read more, but all things considered, I think I did a really good job. Like, I could have read nothing, so I'm proud of myself in that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the end of my wrap up. Give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video, and let me know down below in the comments how you managed to do in the month of August and what your plans for September are going to be, what books you're planning to read and so on and so forth, and how you did in August. Let me know any comments and any thoughts down below, and all of my social media links will be in the description, as well as my video reviews. And that's it from me. Keep smiling, keep reading and be happy. And if you are new to my channel, then please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos, and I'll see all of you wonderful awesome people in my next video. Bye!